Hello, everyone. After listening to Dr. Barrett's TED Talk, I learned something surprising. I did not realize that decades of research shows that emotions aren't something already hardwired into our brain. Built, not built in, as Dr. Barrett says. I was always under the impression that our brains contained some sort of ancient networks that held at least the seeds of emotion, and as we grow, we create our own emotion schemas based on these seeds that become more sophisticated through our own experiences. It's fascinating to me that our brain is just interpreting other people's emotions by connecting personal knowledge and facial expressions, body gestures to make prophecies of how other people feel. There are so many situations that we use these predictions of emotions at work, home, school, and legal systems. This makes me wonder, if we're just predicting emotions and not actually reading them, then what does this mean for entire social systems we have created based on this process? How do we adjust and avoid speculation regarding people's emotions? I know what it feels like to make that mistake. There was a time when I completely misjudged the reactions of a person I used to work with. I was training for a new job, and the lady that was showing me around the office during my orientation demonstrated to me how to enter my code into a copier, and it made an awful noise, and she opened the front panel to look inside, and the toner dust went all over the place. She began to giggle nervously while she was trying to fix it and was saying things like, "I needed this today," and, here we go again. But all the while she was laughing. So based off of her reaction, I thought she was just the type of person who was happy-go-lucky and looked at life through a comical lens. However, this behavior of laughing at anything upsetting continued and was even in uncomfortable situations like in office meetings. So one day she got a call that her daughter had an acute asthma attack, and she ended up going to the hospital. And she really started to giggle at that and cry at the same time, and going on about her life and how she hopes her daughter's okay. And I began to realize I totally misread her giggling, and that it was not really a positive outlook. It was a defense mechanism of laughter to cover up her anxiety over stressful situations. I came to realize at that point I had her read completely wrong. That experience taught me that I can't make assumptions about emotions based on what I observe. Although it's challenging not to assume how a person is feeling because it's so ingrained in us to think that we can, it's more prudent to abstain from guessing. A better suggestion might be to actually ask the person how they're feeling with open-ended questions and try to have a conversation. There's always the potential that they're not going to be honest or totally avoid talking altogether. However, it's a better way to understand a person's emotion than just assuming based on what you've seen before. Another way to affect interpretations is by working on controlling my own internal assessments of my feelings, as Dr. Barrett calls being the architect of my own emotions. While the idea that basic emotions aren't hardwired into the brain surprised me, I was actually excited about the fact that she said we have more control and responsibility over our emotions than first thought. I like the idea that I have control to put a new spin on how my anxieties affect me, to turn my inner thoughts of fear to excitement, or to know that I can take something that feels like dread and turn it into wonder, or anger over what somebody said into curiosity about what they mean. Becoming emotionally intelligent would not only benefit myself, but also those around me. And as I learn to manage my own emotions, it will help me to improve my communication skills, allowing me to have more empathy for those around me. Thank you for your time.